Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Brittany, aka Pink Brit 2. You might be hearing more about this game called Valorant popping up more and more. And that's because they just released a console playing capability for both Xbox and PlayStation, which makes the game more accessible. Now, today I'm going to be explaining more about this game, how it works, and some appropriate settings that you can put for your child should you choose to let them play. Now, Valorant is a 5 versus 5 first-person shooter multiplayer game. It does not have any solo campaigns. The objective is very similar to capture the flag, but think of planting the flag instead of trying to capture and run away with it. Each team takes turns planting what's called the spike. While one team is planting, the opposing team is trying to either prevent the spike from being planted or defusing the spike. Your child will choose an agent to play as during the game. Each agent has a different set of abilities to help them strategize and win. Their abilities are things such as healing and wall blocking, smoke guards, and more. It is free to play, however, to unlock more agents and weapon skins, you will need to purchase credits. And there are 3 forms of currency in Valorant. The first is Valorant points, which allow you to purchase skins and agents and pretty much everything else in the game. Radianite credits are used to evolve certain weapon skins and other content and are purchased directly through the game as well. Or they can be earned through the Battle Pass, which is an additional purchase. Those get released in seasons, very similar to Fortnite, so they last a few months at a time. The further you get through the Battle Pass, the more rewards that you get. And lastly are Kingdom credits. These are earned from playing games and completing daily challenges. They can be used to purchase agents, agent accessories, and agent gear throughout the game. Now, because this is a first-person shooter and more realistic than games such as Fortnite, there is some swearing every once in a while from the characters talking, so it is rated T for teen. However, I will argue that this game is probably one of the best games for middle schoolers to learn communication and teamwork. They have to work together as a team in order for this to work. So, for my child, I have adjusted all of the settings to be more age appropriate for a middle schooler. I have also adjusted the communication settings, which Valorant allows you to communicate in one of 2 ways, audio and in-game chat. Audio is very beneficial in that it allows your team to talk quicker and make more rapid decisions, as Valorant is a very fast-paced game. Or you can use the in-game chat, which is either typing on a PC or some controller keys if they're playing on a console. I actually play with only the chat unless I know my teammates because I'm really shy and I get uncomfortable sometimes talking to random people. We will go over each setting type so that you can decide what's best for your child. All of the instructions I am going to give you are on a PC, however, they do work very similarly for a console. You're just going to want to typically press the start menu and get to your in-game settings. For a PC, this is the gear icon in the upper right. You're going to click on settings, and this is where every setting in the game is controlled. In your general settings, there is a section that I would like to touch on, and that is privacy. So you can adjust your settings to hide your Riot ID from players outside of your party. That way they don't know what their username is. And you can also use generic names for players outside of my party. That way we don't see their names. That one's not usually as big of a deal, but depending on the gamer tags, sometimes they are inappropriate. And so if you just do not want to see what names and gamer tags people are using, you can switch it to generic names for outside of your party. You can auto reject friend requests. However, I personally just put parental approval so that way their friends can still play together. Only allow party requests from friends. I would recommend keeping this on, that way they don't accidentally get into a lobby with some people that they don't know. And then lastly, you always have the option of blocking a player, and you'll see that blocked player list here. The next place that you're going to want to go to is the other section if you just keep scrolling, and that is down in the section that says show mature content. You can turn that off completely, and that is specifically for these 2 items, showing corpses or showing blood. What that means for showing corpses is when the player is shot, their body does drop to the floor and the camera kind of pans around that body. So if you want to turn that off, you can turn everything off, or you could just turn one off, the blood or the corpse. I'm going to go ahead and turn both off. The next section of the settings that you're going to want to go to is the audio. This is how your party chat and other chat preferences are set. The section you're going to want to pay attention to is voice chat. That's where the settings are for party chat and other multiplayer communications. So for my son, I have party voice chat on. This is so he can use a headset and talk to his friends that we have verified and that we have added to his account. The other setting that we have is team voice chat off. This means that since it is a 5-player team, and if he is only playing with one other friend, I don't want him talking to the rest of the party. I only want him talking to his friend. And so I have team voice chat off so he can't talk to strangers on his team. If he wants to communicate with them, he will have to use the in-game chat. The next section that you're going to want to go to is controls and then communication. You'll want to come down to the text chat section and you'll turn on the explicit language filter. This makes sure that anybody who is using the chat cannot use explicit language while using. If there is some other slang or inappropriate comments that you want to keep out, you can also type in words and phrases here and then hit enter. The last setting that we're going to look at is agent flavor. And I saved this one for last because this is the absolute strictest setting. This is where the occasional swearing happens. It is 3 times or 3 words at most, depending on the agent that you are using. And this is the pre-round banter. They say some fun lines for some of the characters and they say funny things and interact with each other to help fill in those moments where there's no talking going on with your team, especially if you are using the voice chat. But if you are super strict about the swearing, this is where you're going to want to turn off that pre-round banter from the character voices. Again, this is in-game. This is from the agents themselves. This is not from other players, and you're going to remove that agent flavor. But this does set you up for the best way to make sure that they are playing a little more age appropriate and to give them an opportunity to be working on their communication and teamwork. Thank you so much for joining me and watching my video. If you found this helpful or if you have any more questions about Valorant or settings in the other games, please leave me a comment in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to support my channel, and if you want to see some gameplay before you let your child start playing, head over to my previous broadcast playlist or my Twitch account where you can see me playing the games in real time. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.